My name is Elena, and I'm 28 years old. I work as a graphic designer, and until recently I was married to Daniel, a man 7 years older than me. We were together for 4 years. What I'm about to share isn't a love story, not in the way people like to hear them. There's no sweeping reconciliation, no grand gesture at the end. Just a quiet unraveling. A truth I have to live with. Daniel was, in every sense, the kind of man many dream of building a life with. Steady, kind, and deeply attentive. He ran a cozy little bookstore downtown, the kind with creaky wooden floors, handwritten staff picks, and the comforting smell of old pages. He poured his soul into it, and somehow always had energy left for me. Whether it was remembering the exact way I liked my coffee, or fixing the dripping faucet before I even noticed it was broken, Daniel gave without keeping score. His love wasn't loud, but it was consistent. It was there in the way he'd tuck a blanket around my shoulders when I fell asleep on the couch, or leave my favorite scarf by the door on chilly mornings. It was real, solid, and unwavering. In the beginning, I soaked in that love. I felt cherished, anchored. There was a peace in our life together. Simple dinners, soft laughter, late-night conversations. But something inside me began to shift. Slowly, quietly. A kind of restlessness crept in, one I couldn't name at first. It wasn't about Daniel. Not really. It was about me. At work, I'd listen to co-workers gush about whirlwind romances, grand gestures, spontaneous weekends abroad. On social media, my feed filled with filtered images of rooftop kisses, glowing sunsets, and couples laughing on cobblestone streets. I started comparing not our love but our life. Was I missing something? Was I settling? Was comfort enough? First, I scolded myself. Love doesn't have to be dramatic to be real. But the questions kept returning. Was I truly fulfilled? Or was I clinging to the safety Daniel gave me because it was easier than confronting my own doubts? Then came the night that changed everything. It started as a casual evening. A few friends, good music, a downtown lounge. I told myself I needed a break, a night to unwind. But as the drinks kept coming, so did the fog. I wasn't just drinking to have fun. I was trying to quiet that inner voice, the one that whispered that I wasn't happy, even if I didn't know why. By the time I stumbled into our apartment, disoriented and barely holding it together, Daniel was already waiting. He didn't scold me. He helped me to the couch, brushed my hair out of my face, fetched a glass of water. Who is Daniel? Always Daniel. And yet something in me cracked. You're not enough for me anymore. The words spilled out like venom. Instant, unprovoked, and completely false. But they cut him to the core. I'll never forget the look in his eyes. A flicker of disbelief, then devastation. He didn't say anything. Just stood there, absorbing it, as if trying to make sense of who I had become. The next morning, I woke up with a pounding head and an even heavier heart. He sat at the kitchen table, staring blankly at his coffee. "Is that how you really feel?" he asked, voice soft, almost afraid of the answer. "No," I whispered. "I was drunk. I didn't mean it. Daniel, please." But he just nodded. Not in forgiveness, in understanding. That kind of quiet, soul-deep understanding that told me the damage had already been done. That no apology could erase it. Something shifted after that. Daniel didn't confront me or lash out. He simply withdrew. The small things, the way he used to touch my hand in passing, the warmth in his voice when he said goodnight, started disappearing. We coexisted but not together. The silence between us grew heavy, and I didn't know how to fix it. Tried. God, I tried. I baked his favorite lemon tarts, even though I could never get the crust right. I left notes around the house, reminders of our early days, quotes from the books we used to read together. I reached for him in bed, desperate for a connection, any spark that could reignite what we'd lost. But his response came in a whisper. Asterisk. Not now, Elena. Maybe later. Asterisk. It was then I realized. Maybe he was the one who no longer felt enough. Eventually, one restless Saturday, I told myself I needed space. A night to breathe, to escape the weight of guilt I carried. I went to a bar, telling myself I'd just have one drink. That's where I met him, a stranger with a confident smile and easy charm. He asked, "Tough night?" I should have walked away. But his attention felt like warmth in a cold room, like a rush of air when you've been drowning. And so, when he leaned in, I let him kiss me. Instant regret. Didn't feel like liberation. Felt like betrayal. My chest tightened. I stood to leave. And that's when I saw Daniel. He was sitting in his car across the street. He must have followed me. Or maybe he just knew. His face was ghostly under the dim light, and he didn't get out. He just drove away. The next morning, I found him in the living room, sitting on the couch with his hands folded in his lap. "To come. Last night made things clear," he said. "I know where I stand now." Broke. Pleaded. I told him it was a mistake, that it didn't mean anything, that I didn't even know why I'd done it. He looked at me with eyes that no longer held anger, just sadness. "I need time," he said. "I need to understand what this means for me." He packed a small bag, hugged me once, softly like a goodbye, and walked out the door. That was the last time I saw Daniel in our home. It's been 8 months. He's with someone else now. Someone who lights up his face in a way I haven't seen in years. He laughs more. He looks free. No. I'm still here, sifting through the wreckage of what I destroyed. Most of our friends drifted away. Not out of judgment but uncertainty. No one knew what to say. Even my sister, when I told her, looked at me with something between pity and grief. "You had something rare," she said. "And you let it go." She was right. There's no dramatic ending to this story. Just the echo of what could have been. No closure, no perfect redemption arc. Only regret. Heavy and lingering like smoke after a fire. If my story means anything, let it be this. Cherish what's real. Don't measure it against someone else's highlight reel. ***, love isn't always exciting, but when it's true, when it's steady, it's worth holding on to. Had that. I let it slip through my fingers. And now, all I can do is live with the knowing.